Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Chris Kerr. I'm the lead partner for Harper McLeod's North of Scotland operation and head of our marine economy group. Through that lens, one of the things we've been noticing is the increasing diversification of ports and harbours, particularly in relation to offshore renewables and decommissioning. In this context, I'm joined today by Steve Regan, director of one of our clients, Messiah Decommissioning, who have been embarking on a high-profile project in the Invergordon area at Cromarty Firth. Steve, hi, nice to see you.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
Very well, thank you, very well. You look like you're hard at it, given the outfit. Do you want to tell us a wee bit about the project that's been grabbing the headlines?
Yeah, sure. So we're decommissioning the Hutton tension leg platform, which is an asset that was constructed by Barmac in Nig in the early 80s. The whole Hutton platform was actually built in the area. The tension leg base was fabricated in Nig, and the topside was fabricated in Ardessia, and it went out to the Hutton field in about 1984. It actually came off station in the early 2000s and was taken to Russia, where the topside was demated with the base. And then the base was on its way to Mexico when it broke its toe, and it's been sat in the Cromarty Firth ever since around 2009. So yeah, we've just began the contract to decommission the asset. Last weekend, we moved the asset from its sort of resting place to the Queen's Dock in the Port of Cromarty Firth in Invergordon, and we're beginning the process of a sort of assessment and decommissioning as we speak.
So is it 6 individual legs?
So it's actually not legs. The tension leg platform was a very innovative design when it was first produced by Conoco, and it's been replicated a number of times around the world. Effectively, it allowed a rig to operate in ultra deep water, where effectively it had a massive ballasted pontoon that was then tied through tension anchors into the seabed, so it could operate at very, very deep water depths. So effectively, it comprises of a sort of 100 metre by 100 metre rectangular pontoon that's 8 metres wide, 11 metres deep. And on top of the pontoon is 6 legs where they housed all of the ballasting and the tension anchor compartments. Each of the legs are around 45 metres high and 18 metres in diameter.
Okay, so they're connected, are they? So they were pulled in.
Yeah, they're all connected. They're all connected in a system of tunnels. So effectively, say this was the base of the rig, so it doesn't have any process equipment. It was a very large series of sort of ballasting tanks that they used to pull the rig into the sea to give it stability, stop it being affected by the obviously ultra harsh weather conditions that are experienced out there in the North Sea.
So it was just off east of Shetland, the Hutton field, yeah?
Yes, it was, yeah. Again, obviously I think it's very successful for a few years, and then the suppliers made it unviable in the early 2000s, which is when the asset was brought back in. And so the top side is put to reuse. It's still working out in the field in Russia on a new base. And yeah, the tension leg platform, the base has been parked in Cromarty since. So it's for us, it's great to bring a decommissioning project to the area and to Scotland. We've been working previously in Norway, in the decommissioning yards in Norway, and as a business, we're very passionate about bringing this work back to the UK and especially Scotland.
So the Queen's. So this will be the first project of its type at the Queen's Dock, is that right?
Yes, it will be. It'll be the first major decommissioning project in the Queen's Dock in Port of Cromarty, and the team here have been excellent in supporting us in securing this project and undertaking it in the area. So yeah, it's a big milestone for us all. So
what workforce will be working on it over the course of the project?
So effectively, the workforce is sort of stepping up at the moment. Be a combination of obviously the guys from our team that have been executing this kind of work, combined with local operatives that we bring on board and we train. Obviously, lots of the skills that we use are very transferable from when they were constructing these assets. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to onboard quite a large contingent from the local workforce. The outline method is, mate, we're lifting the sections of the asset down in large pieces, utilising the local heavy lift specialists here, and then we use our fleet of ultra large mechanical equipment to effectively shear the steel to the sizes before it goes for recycling.
So what's the anticipated timescale?
So 12 months is the duration of the contract. Again, we're in the sort of very early assessment stages now, so we're in the process of creating a digital twin of the asset. Unfortunately, a lot of the records we've not been able to obtain from the previous owners or from the Lloyd's Register. So this week we're scanning the whole structure inside and out. We create a digital twin, which then lets us define the exact methodology that we'll approach for the lifting sequences and techniques.
Is that likely to be subject to what the computer imagery tells you? Is it likely to be kind of taking one of them at a time?
It's a way rather than relying on as-built drawings, it's a way of getting the as-built situation relatively quickly and to an excellent degree of accuracy. So we'll be surveying it this week, and we'll have a complete 3D model of the whole asset, and we'll understand what each component weighs. It will be like a life-size 4D picture of what we have there. Okay,
and then the different components will likely end up where?
Well, obviously, what we're doing is be streaming all of the waste to the relevant sort of European recycling code. So obviously, there's a large amount of ferrous metal which will get recycled, and again, we're sending that out through ship to the end users, and then we're partnering with a local company to deal with all of the other waste streams here.
Great. So depending on how you look at it, you've either removed an eyesore or a landmark.
I think there's very definitely two schools of thought, Chris, speaking to the people locally. But yeah, I think it's good that again we've made the first step in bringing a project to Scotland, and hopefully we have plans for many more.
Yeah, great. Okay, well, look, you're clearly in amongst it, and your team behind you are keen to get going, obviously. So I'll let you go on, but thanks for talking to us today.
No, good seeing you, Chris.
We'll check in soon. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.